Well, hey there everybody, Aaron here. Welcome to another episode of Gideon's Tactical. Today we're going to be doing a field test and overview on the Schrade SCHF18. As you know by now, we're going to be calling it the F18 for the rest of the video, because Schrade does not give their knives names, which can be very confusing for us reviewers, particularly, and you buyers out there. But I'll just give you a few basic specs. You know, this is another budget offering, kind of a tactical / survival knife that Schrade has designed. We'll see if it's worth a purchase for you. So let me give you a couple basic specs and we'll begin to beat on the F18. Alright, the specs that we have for you here today is 12 inches overall from tip to the back of the handle. You have a total blade length from the handle scale to the tip of 6.625 inches and then an actual cutting edge of 6.25 inches. It is made out of HCR13 MOV Chinese made steel. It's a good budget steel. You know, it's not going to hold its edge very long, but it's pretty tough and durable. You will have to resharpen it pretty frequently though. This is a hollow grind and it has a thickness of 0.24 inches thick, full tang construction. So that's always a bonus and a plus, you know, so very tough, durable blade. This also comes with a black kydex sheath, which is always a plus, weighing in total with the sheath at 17 ounces, and the actual knife weight alone, just the knife weight, is 14.5 ounces, so that's always nice. And then you kind of got this unsharpened swedge, the high traction black coating, which is a plus. So not a bad blade. So we're going to go ahead and in its specs see if once we put it to the test, if it's really worth a purchase for you at right around $40 is what they're asking for, what Schrade's asking for. Let's see if this 1/4 inch thick Chinese made fixed blade is really worth that $40. Alright, let's try some nylon rope cutting with the F18. You know, this is definitely designed more of a kind of a utility blade. Good recurve there. So it's going to slice through pretty well. Now this is a 1/4 inch thick. I have run this through my Spyderco sharp maker and I am having a little bit of difficulty. Yeah, not as good as say the F12 or the F25. You know, some of those other ones, I can do it, and I'm sure with some more work I could get that to a finer edge. I mean, I did already run it, like I said, through my sharp maker a few times, try and get a finer edge on it. I think some of that is just the thickness of the spine at a 1/4 inch thick. And it's doing okay. So if you want it to be a really good rope cutter, you are going to probably have to put a little effort into the edge. Not really impressed with that edge for rope cutting, even after a little bit of touch up with the Spyderco sharp maker. So not impressed with the man-made material cutting on the F18 without having to put some work to it. Now the HCR13 MOV steel will be able to take an edge really well, so without too much more work I'm sure you could get a finer edge on there, but factory and even after some touch up, not that impressed. So you can see the F18 is doing an okay job with this carving task. I mean, it'll get the job done. It does offer this really big blank spot right here. That's not a designated finger choil, but you can definitely do that. And then with its really nice flat area right here, I can really choke up. And then you can see I can get a little bit better carving, a little bit better shavings, and more control over this medium-sized knife. There we go. Now you can kind of see it's starting to catch a little bit better. I can get better shavings, and it's just doing a better job when you choke up and kind of use that blank spot right here before you hit the edge, and then that nice little flat spot right there. So it does the job. It's not ideal. It's not really what I don't think it's designed for. I don't think it's really designed to be a very good survival knife. It's definitely designed to be a little bit more of a medium to large size fighting knife. You know, that's really what it's designed for. First, you can do some of these survival tasks, some of this bush tasks, but it's not going to excel at it, and there'll be other knives that will do a better job than this Schrade F18. You can see I'm getting really good stabbing penetration with the F18 with its unsharpened swedge up here, and then its reinforcement all the way to the tip. It's very strong, and then I got a really good finger guard here, good slight thumb ramp, and good jimping, so I am really locked into place. So if you are going to be using this knife, I think this is probably the best way to use it, is more in a kind of a fighting style, you know, tactical blade definitely first, and a wilderness blade kind of second. You definitely want to, you know, this is definitely going to be a good knife for fighting, stabbing, you know, those type of tasks. You are absolutely locked into place. You're not worried about, you know, sliding up and accidentally hurting yourself. And you got really good traction, very strong, good design for stabbing capabilities. you can see this is actually doing a pretty good job of chopping for its size. And I'm hitting right here kind of on that recurved belly. So it's definitely doing some good biting in for the weight and size of this knife. You can see there. And the handle construction is really well designed. You got a really good hook back there, you know, so I kind of get 3 fingers on there and get a really good, you know, wrist action. The problem is there's no lanyard hole. I don't know why they didn't throw a lanyard hole on this. That would help with the chopping capabilities, and that could really go to town. I'm constantly trying to kind of hold back and kind of re-grip on the handle because there is no lanyard keeping the knife from flying out of my hand. I mean, you're going to get the same chopping capability that you would out of like an Ontario Rat 7, an SE6, something like that. You're definitely going to get, you know, a good amount of chopping. Not as much as a BK2 or, you know, a BK9. There we go. But you can definitely do some light chopping. It just would have been better if they had a lanyard hole and the ability to put a lanyard on the F18. All right, let's go ahead and take a look here at the sheath on the F18. You can see here it is a form of Kydex. It's a little bit thinner, probably about 0.5 than what we're used to, you know, with other models. So it's a little bit thinner Kydex, but that helps cut down on the weight, which is always a plus. So the Kydex is really nice and formed. This has double lashings on either side, so very, very easy to wrap through Molly and Pals webbing with your paracord. That's always a big plus, you know, to have that. It is not BLADEHQ compatible with the original size BLADEHQ lock. These holes are just too close together and just doesn't fit quite right. But they do give you, you know, the Schrade, now that we know, you know, that they're putting on all their Kydex sheaths, that nice loop over design. Really like that. Kind of gives it a little bit of a drop leg, and it is, you know, multi-attachable in different ways. Then it does have that nice thumb ramp again that you can grab. You know, Schrade is doing a really good job with these thumb ramps, so you can pull your blade out real nice and quick. Use the F18, click it back into place. You're good to go. A little bit of a rattle. Not much though, and again, secure, good. You know, definitely designed to be able to be put on, you know, a chest rig or, you know, a vest or something like that and carried, you know, in tactical situations. So that the sheath definitely allows you to carry it in that type of format and is really well designed. Again, for that price point, right around 40 bucks. Awesome for the price point. All right, everyone, so you've seen the Schrade F18 in action. Let's go ahead and wrap up this video. You know, this is new for 2014. I would say that this is definitely, for the price point, again, remember, we're talking $40, which is a great price point for the knife you're getting. I would say that this is definitely designed to be a large fighting knife and a survival knife second. It doesn't really, in my opinion, excel very well at the survival task. It's got that really long, unsharpened swedge. I didn't even really want to baton with it just because I just didn't. I don't think it's designed really to be all that great at camp knife or survival knife. But if you're looking for a knife that you want to be able to stick a guy with, that you want it to be nice, thick, a 1/4 inch thick, but still light in the hand at under a pound, and give you some really good reach at over 6 inches of reach, I think the Schrade, and you don't want to spend a lot of money, I think the Schrade F18 is designed well for that. Gives you a good sheath and lots of Molly attachments. So, you know, if you're a soldier, you know, law enforcement, and you don't want to spend a lot of money, you know, or maybe you just want a backup blade that if you break it or you lose it, doesn't really matter. You know, you didn't spend $200 on a Benchmade or something like that, you know, for your fixed blade. This is definitely, I think, a great option. It's tough, durable, it'll last a while. It's not necessarily going to have, you know, good edge retention, and I don't think it's necessarily the best wilderness knife. If you're looking for a Schrade wilderness knife, I'd go with the SCHF18. That's going to be a lot better for you. You know, in survival tasks, it's got the lanyard hole. It's just got a better overall drop point design for batoning. It's got a little bit more of a recurve for chopping. So, good fighting knife, good budget fighting knife with lots of reach, I would say, for the F18. Not that great a survival knife. So I hope this review has helped you guys out. Thanks so much for watching. Stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.